The pollutants examined are nitrogen dioxide, combined oxides of nitrogen, and particulate matter. These are produced in emissions from burning fossil fuels such as in power generation, road traffic, shipping, and aviation. Findings carried out by the Department of Environment and Climate Change, the Environmental Agency, and UK air quality experts Ricardo show the stark reduction in air pollutants during lockdown. Pre-lockdown, there are clear peaks in areas like Europort Road, where combined oxides of nitrogen peaked at 1,000 micrograms. Since lockdown, this has reduced by 75%. Other peak areas which have reduced include Devil's Tower Road and Withams Road. Calendar charts for each of these pollutants in various areas of Gibraltar show the same finding. Dark red reflects high concentrations of the respective air pollutants. The calendars show that since lockdown on the 23rd of March, pollutant levels have decreased from as much as 50 micrograms to, at times, 10 per day. The only exception is on Roja Road, where PM10 levels have remained largely the same. Environment Minister John Cortes says that the road is the main artery for those coming from the South District. This, coupled with delivery bikes travelling the route more than before, could be the reason why, as these particulate matter levels tend to come from motorbikes. Dr. Cortes says the findings show that instances of higher levels of pollutants are less frequent.
I'd say we're about between a quarter and a third better off in air quality than we were before lockdown. It does vary from area to area and from pollutant to pollutant.
The air quality improvement is largely due to reduced traffic. However, there are other factors that affect our environment. Dr. Cortes says that energy consumption is down by around 10%. Less shipping and aviation in the area also plays a role. GBC understands that the refineries across the bay have been deemed essential by Spanish authorities and have been working during lockdown. But due to reduced demand for fuel, the refinery has been working at a reduced capacity.
If we have a very calm situation or a northwesterly wind that blows over from the refinery area, then our monitors would pick that up. We are not able to get close enough to be able to monitor the direct effect.
You've mentioned a few times at the daily press conferences that the improvement in air quality might cause us to rethink the way that we were doing things before. Milan has already confirmed a scheme to reduce cars after lockdown by replacing them with walking and cycling in some of the city's major arteries. What kind of policies can you actually foresee being able to implement in the way of reducing pollution and improving air quality once this is over?
Clean air is going to be very important. It always is, but it's going to be particularly important if there is a rather sinister and aggressive respiratory illness going round. Therefore, we have to respond to that. And I'm happy to say, and I think people shouldn't be surprised, that in its discussion, Cabinet is looking at ways in which we can bank this. And we will be taking steps which will be announced in coming weeks as to how we can consolidate these improvements in air quality and make sure that they remain, because it's good for all of us.
So I understand that you haven't made any announcements yet, but what kind of ideas are being floated?
Well, I think it will be obvious how we can promote less use of vehicles, more walking, more cycling. Where you have to use vehicles, that they should be at least hybrid and preferably electric. Whether there are areas where we can reduce traffic in. These are all being discussed. I think it would be unfair of me to go into any more detail because we are developing these plans and we have to discuss them further.
Is it a question of promoting or enforcing?
Quite frankly, it's a bit of both. We have to promote it. People have to be aware in order to do it voluntarily, but also to accept any enforcement that we have to carry out.
Gibraltar's air has been previously described as shocking by experts, and it's taken a pandemic to improve it. A few weeks of clean air won't make much difference long term if we go back to how things were before. But with a respiratory virus firmly established across the globe, there couldn't be a better time to consider more environmentally sustainable habits.